Another evening of amazing League of Legends action for you, Summoners. It's a blessed Saturday and we are your shoutcasters. I am Shinbu with 1, 4, and 9.
And I'm Riku.
This is the Pro Gaming Series 2016 Summer Split. We are down to the day 2 of our Week 5 powered by our official energy drink, Bacchus. Energy, drive your energy! We are down looking to our schedule into a match, into a series between Wargods La Liga Filipina taking on INFZ Esports as Wargods is down to their final stand as you have checked those articles because they run the risk of losing the chance to proceed to the playoffs.
Exactly. Unang team actually na laglag sa ating playoffs ay Naga Esports. Yes. And we'll see. This is, as you've seen the ads, the banners, it's their final stand. Second place ngayon.
Yeah.
Ay, hindi. Second to the last
place
pala ngayon ang La Liga Pilipinas. Kaya they really should do well against INFZ Esports for them para makabawi. Kasi kung titingnan natin, we are at our 5th week at this point and they may run out of time if nagpatuloy pa to.
They need to rack up more and more points, diba? Para dito sa ating group stage. We are down to our week 5. Meron na lamang tayo natitirang 2 linggo bago tayo mag-proceed to the playoffs and to the finals, ladies and gentlemen, July 23, Rampage 2016.
Yes.
So kung ano yung pwedeng ilabas ng inyong team dito sa Pro Gaming Series, kailangan nyo na talagang ilabas, especially for the bottom 4 teams natin na nandito. Or rather, I'd say, bottom 4 except for Naga Esports nga.
Yes.
Because talagang they're locked down ngayon sa 1 point. Na 2-0 ba sila kapag?
Na 2-0.
Oh, yes. Na-default pala kaya.
Na-default. Na 2-0 yung Naga Esports ng AEX.
Alright.
So yeah, let's proceed to our ban and pick phase right now. As you can see, parang nagdadasal dito si... Is that...
Si Sovi.
Ayun si Sovi. He's covering the support.
He's gonna be substituting
for Kush right now.
Yes, for Kush right now. He's the substitute support for Wargods.
Kitang-kita natin yung intensity ng the last stand ng mga players because you can see na he's really, really playing hard. It actually reminds me of JLC before he plays. JLC from IPT. Kunwari, before a tournament, nakikita mo siya na nagsa-sign of the cross before pagdating ng picks and bans. It's really, really nice.
Interesting lang. Si Sovi pala yung support ngayon para sa Wargods.
Not Kush.
So, like, considering kanina sa discussion na,
yes.
natin na-cover yung
champion pool ni Sovi. We actually did not anticipate Sovi to be playing today. Kasi since Kush has been the one who has been always supporting.
We won't be expecting any brand support dito.
Support.
Although Sovi could still play Brom, isa sa mga dito or talagang comfort picks ni Kush nung siya yung support and Brom is not banned right now.
Yeah.
Pero still, Sovi has a lot of arsenal pa. He plays Lulu.
Yes.
Actually, and he can also play Thresh. And actually, Karma support na.
Karma support. So, both of the teams actually right now that are facing off, INFZ and La Liga Wargods Pilipinas, do play Karma. It's one of their favorites actually. Rise, on the other hand, is being banned. It is not a surprise, and there you have it. First, right off the bat, talagang tinake nila yung Nidalee. INFZ Esports really likes this Nidalee.
I was expecting na hindi papalagpasin ng La Liga yung Nidalee.
Actually, I thought din mababan din siya. Because I'd rather take Hechizo on a Kindred. I'd rather take Hechizo on a not a Lee Sin.
Or maybe Duel said, I can take him
on a Nidalee.
Kasi this is a jungler matchup between these two teams. Wargods La Liga versus INFZ Esports. What the players that you want to watch out for on this one would be Duel and Hechizo. Duel is the playmaker while Hechizo is the star player for
INFZ Esports. I mean, before the star player, nakikita na on the spring split, I believe it was JRM, of course. But then biglang nag-step up siya at the beginning of the split. Hechizo really making the plays for INFZ Esports.
The one on the screen, sa pangalan niya, Hechizo. Nice uniform they're coming in from
INFZ. As you can see, those are the coaches behind. There's the Braum coming right in. Because, that's the strength of INFZ Esports. They really want the siege, they really want the poke, and they also want to combine it with sustain. So most definitely, you want to counter that with something. And Braum is definitely one of those champions because of his shield. He can also siege as well. Kasi nga, while you're sieging, kayo naman yung nagsisiege, tapos nagpo-poke naman yung INFZ Esports, there's the protection that you can have.
And, yan na. So, dinena yung Lucian.
Yeah, Lucian-Braum combo.
You would combo for Braum for 2 birds in 1 stone ang gawa dito ng INFZ Esports. You would combo Braum sa Lucian. Hai is a formidable Lucian player.
Exactly.
So, instead of banning it, deny him that one. And of course, wala nang choice dito. Left out for Hai would be an Ezreal. But rather, he will opt for picking Jhin, no?
Well, Caitlyn is still open.
Yeah,
I mean, there is still the option to take that. It works well din naman with a Braum so that you can easily put the passive stacks in for the stun because you can easily, do the auto attacks, the microwing. And just as I've said, Infused really likes the, the poke plus sustain combo. As long as they can siege with the sustain, they're gonna be okay. And they have a good balance as well. Poke coming in from Nidalee. The Zac pick, actually, it wasn't included in our discussion. I think it was just, it was just phased out.
Zac? This is the first time.
Yeah, it's gonna be the first time they're gonna play Zac because the players that play Zac is actually, I think it was Kulit and AEX, Tamsu. So this wasn't really in our radar. So most likely naman, Zac is a really good pick because of the Cinderhulk nga, 6.10. Really good CCs, good team fight, good setups, very strong laning presence for the Zac. Easy to set up those ganks with elastic slingshot, long range as well.
Right now, Talia is not anymore banned.
Not banned anymore. And that's,
pero I doubt if this Talia gets locked in. Hindi naman bago ang Talia support.
Yeah, not
first time na nagkaroon ng Talia.
Hindi naman.
Pero it's kind of hindi pa natin na-cover kung how does Talia will
synergize well with the team dynamic.
And the playstyle ng Infuse. Let's see though. Team fight initiate, may good initiate si Talia. Pero
with a good ultimate na range naman, coming from a far response.
Kay Talia, 6.11.
Well, we're 6.10 though.
6.10. So parang hindi pa ganun ka-powerful. It was considered na parang si Talia is kind of a lack or damage or conditional.
Very conditional. And I think she's one of the bottom champions with a really low percentage of wins for solo queue. And so I don't think it might be too risky. And I think
kung ganun yung kit naman. Tapos bagong release na champion.
Bagong release.
Talagang bababa yung play
pero siguro hanggang ngayon, it's still not viable for competitive play. So I think Riot might... I mean, Riot has been releasing all these champions like Ilawi, but we haven't really exactly seen them parang nagkaroon ng impact sa competitive play. It's more like it's a fun champion to play at solo or normal games, but not really for competitive. It's most likely yung champion na you have to build around it pa. But then that's too risky because that means that you're gonna...
Kaya may mga series ng adjustments kay Ilawi ngayon eh.
Yeah.
Even the next patch, may nakaset up na naman na parang adjustment, kind of buff din kay Ilawi ngayong 6.10. Nung 6.10 meron din, di ba? Doon sa kanyang W.
Yes.
So, right now, yun na, Talia won't get locked in, though they're still hovering over their last
the Azir. Wow, so there it is, Azir. We actually thought na, kasi ZXC and Hayes actually are good Azir players. And one of ZX's favorite is Azir. But then he also has a pocket pick of like a Ryze or an Ahri or probably a LeBlanc somewhere. But then, we're gonna pick the Ahri this time, which is quite rare for PGS, although we have seen EXO use it in the mid lane. But then again, actually all War Gods sa Liga Pilipinas, you can tell na this is the last stand. It's really intense. You can tell na parang...
They're really thinking it through, man. They have all their brain cells all in para dito sa larong to. Parang yung tipong napapa-clench ka ng yung mga kamay.
Let's hope for the best here.
Parang ninanak mo yung noo mo.
So for War Gods sa Liga Pilipinas to actually, make it through na completely, I think they need to win this 2-0 to get the 3 points. Kasi second to the last team sila ngayon at the PGS. And really excited. I actually don't know what's gonna happen. Kasi when we saw Infused Esports battle it against IPT, they weren't their best.
For the top lane, Gertrude versus Burn. Para naman sa ating jungle, for Infused, it's gonna be Hechizo and Duel from War Gods. Watch out for that match.
Definitely on towards the mid lane naman. Ito si ZXC versus Hayes. Really good solo queue people dyan sa ating local challenger scene.
Meanwhile, for the ADC position, it's gonna be JRM taking on High Infused once again against War Gods.
Yes, and for the support naman, Ayan, nakikita natin na si Akil versus Sovi, which Sovi has little exposure pa at the moment. So this is his time to shine kasi laging nakikita si Kush in the support role.
It's interesting din na hindi kinuha ni Akil si Soraka, no?
Oh, yun nga eh.
Hindi naman bad, hindi bad na combo ang Soraka Lucian.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, kasi if you're thinking of Nami, you would want to pair it madalas kay Caitlyn, diba?
Caitlyn, for like a really strong lane presence and dominance, range, slow, everything sustained.
Probably because redundant na kung meron naman silang Hensizo. Plus meron ding sustain in a way si Ari. So, hindi ganun ka benefiting na.
Yeah.
Parang may redundant na skill pag nag-Soraka ka on this kind of composition.
Yeah.
It's safe not to pick Soraka.
And the thing is, they
would
might...
want peel.
They would want peel and they would want more of the AoE disengage with the tidal wave na tsunami pala ng meron si Nami.
Yes.
That's why it's more wise to choose the Nami pick. Just in case that there's all the parang champions on the Wargods sa Liga Pilipinas side na they'd all go to the backline. There's the Maokai, there's the Zac as well. So that's something that they will fear most definitely, and I think this Nami pick is gonna work wonders for them. It's just that there's also the fear of Gertrude on Infuse side for the flanks. He's really, really good laning phase, so I think Hechizo can just leave him naman ng without having to worry about the matchup. I mean, it's a Maokai. He just has to worry about the ganks coming in from duel most definitely. So Hechizo has other lanes to worry about, and I mean, this Nidalee pick is just gonna work well then kasi most of them have all the necessary CCs to synergize well with the Nidalee. So, all damage being put in, early game damage is really, really good for Infused if you look at it during the laning phase. Meanwhile naman, for Wargods sa Liga Pilipinas, they also have the lockdown CCs and the damage as well. It's just that it has to be set up well from duel dito. Meanwhile, Infused is super reliant on their own lane CCs for them to work, not from the Nidalee Spears.
Ayun nga, So, ayan. Kayo naman, mga summoners, what are your insights on this one? We are live at esports.garena.ph/stream. Of course, we are also live over Facebook. So, i-like nyo na yan, i-share nyo na yan. You could also visit the Pro Gaming Series Facebook fan page and comment us anong insights nyo dito sa game na to. This day 2 of week 5 ng ating Pro Gaming Series 2016 Summer Split is of course powered by our official energy drink. Bacchus Energy, drive your energy. Mga kaibigan, maraming salamat po sa Bacchus. Alongside with them, kita-kita po tayo sa Rampage 2016, July 23. Secure your tickets now.
Yeah.
If you're asking kung may premium tickets pa, yes,
meron pa. But I suggest you guys like secure it right away bago maubos. And you guys can actually visit the office to buy your tickets if ever naman. At meron naman ina-announce sa lobby ng mga parang station ticket sellers sa mga internet cafes. For example, meron sa Minisk Infinity, mga ganun. So just take note of that. Also, kami nila Shinbo, actually kami mga casters, we're gonna hold a Rampage ticket giveaway. So yes, I suggest you guys like our pages.
Have you hold yours?
Not yet. I'm actually thinking kung ano pa yung
Okay, so I'm taking this time to announce my Rampage ticket giveaway. You could just check my Facebook fan page, facebook.com/GSShimbu, one for an eye. And nandun, naka-pin post lang yung picture ni Bart doon. It's actually an anti-toxicity poster. It's a poster advising you kapag nasuspend ka, na-chat restrict ka, or na-ban. Ano ang kailangan mong gawin? Once again, I would like to tell you na kapag na-chat restrict or ban ka, na-sanction ka, all you need to do is just change your ways, play again. Number 2, pwede nyo kaming i-contact Garena, Riot, di ba, for your questions. And number 3, do not post your reform cards. It's very unnecessary, sa totoo lang. Kung meron man kayong contest, balik kayo sa number 2. You can question us. Kausapin nyo kami. Kung ipopost nyo yan, sinong magko-comment yan? Yung kaibigan nyo, yung barkada nyo.
They're just gonna tell you the same thing, to contact someone from Garena or Riot.
It won't help you. So, ayan, just share that poster with the hashtag ToxicNoMore plus hashtag LOLPH. And ayun, 5 summoners, I'll announce it on July 17, 2016. 5 summoners will win a Rampage ticket mula sa akin. And of course, mula sa Garena.
Yes, and most definitely, ayan, basta like nyo yung Facebook ni Shinbu. And I'm pretty sure the other casters as well.
Yes.
That's Manjin, Alpha, Atlas, Aika, Amplifier, Asarai.
Saan na si Atlas?
Puro A, Napansin ko, the trend is real. But yeah.
Tayo lang yata.
Yung mga RS.
Riku and Shinbu, once again, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Summoner's Rift. You are watching a series, the match Game 1 ng laban between Infuse Esports versus Wargads La Liga Pilipinas. In the blue side, you have Infuse Esports. In the top lane, Gertrude on that poppy jungle. Hechizo, star player mga friend on that Nidalee, finally. And for the mid lane, it's gonna be ZXC, Donning and Ari. In the bottom duo, we will have JRM holding Lucian and a kill for that Nami support.
Yes, and meanwhile, on the red side, we have Wargods La Liga Pilipinas. On the top lane, we have Burn with the Maokai. In the jungle, we have Duel with the Zac. In the mid lane, we have Haze with the Azir. And for the bottom lane duo, we have Hai on the Ezreal ADC. And for the support, we have Sovi with the Braum.
Drive your energy, Bagus energy drink. That's the one, that's the official energy drink of the Pro Gaming Series 2016 Summer Split. So,
Yes.
ayan mga summoners, we are seeing, of course, the ending of invades of lane swaps. Yan. Malaking kalungkutan, especially coming in from that 6.9 update. But of course, it's just, malaking pagbabago din.
Yeah.
I mean, an adjustment for the Dragon. For the Dragon update.
Yeah, nobody
You
really
don't want
wants...
to run the risk.
Yeah, don't
losing
want
that dragon.
to lose dragon control most definitely. And for the first dragon, it's gonna be the Ocean Dragon, I believe. Sabi nga diba, sinasabi nila na, hey, it's green. Why is it not blue for water? Or something. Pero yeah.
Well, ano kasi, alam mo yun, naturo sa akin sa school, healthy daw ang green na water kasi mga algae, so, plants, so maraming food for the fish.
Alright, I see. It's for the other residents of the water. Meanwhile, getting back into the game,
Yes.
so red side both starts for the jungle. So I can't imagine that afterwards, Duel can make an early gank here in the top lane because they won't lack CCs at all. I really think for Maokai, his early game scaling towards the laning phase, once he completes his combo level 3,
Papi has the attack in this mode, pero
Yeah.
the gang would be enough to
burn a flash, definitely. So, but then siguro mas prioritize siguro ni Duel yung early clear and relieving pressure here in the bot lane because let's face it, Ezreal's wave clear is just terrible. Here's a gank in the mid lane.
Oh my God, that's all in onto Higgs. Hechizo mga kaibigan, ba't yung binigay ang Nidalee sa kanya? Two soldiers standing up, it's gonna be the first blood jungle for Infuse Esports.
And there you have it, just as I have suspected, it's just gonna be reliant on the laning champions ng Infuse to make this Nidalee work for themselves. I mean, you just have to hold on to your spear, let the charm land, let everything land. And just, if you think about it, I said that Duel would make a gank early on after his red buff. It turns out it was Hechizo that did that neat trick for Infuse. It worked really well. That's a free CC for you, free slow, easy to land all your skill shots and CCs. And that's why First Blood goes to Infuse. That's gonna help the Ari, advance, reach her spike faster when it comes to, contesting objectives later on to the game.
The damage from a Nidalee is quite crazy.
Yeah. I mean, once you reach level 3 on the Nidalee, you're good to go.
The burst.
The burst is really, really great for Nidalee. And it's for the laning phase, I really have to hand it to Infuse Esports. Meanwhile, Hai just has to wait for some sort of spike with the gauntlets and with the Mana Mune. So later pa yun. So meanwhile, let's Duel, waiting patiently here in the bot lane. Probably trying to force a flash of some sort. No bubble anymore. Just in case mag-gank. See?
Oh, yan na. Pumasok na si Duel dito. All in landing. Against JRM. Concussive blows. Gets from mga kaibigan. And it's Duel. Picking up the ADC here ng Infuse Esports.
Great timing and patience is a virtue. Yan ang pinakita ng Wargads sa Liga Pilipinas. Looking at that bubble being casted already, that was the cue of Wargads sa Liga Pilipinas to go in.
Actually, alam mo kung ano yung cue? Wala na yung bubble. Plus, nung
Relentless Pursuit?
Hindi Relentless Pursuit yung Q ni
Lucian?
Piercing Light. Nung nag-Piercing Light si Lucian, alam ni Duel na gagamitin niya yung proc na
Double attack.
double attack doon sa yung passive delusion.
Yeah.
And yun yung signal to go all in.
To
Kasi
go,
parang medyo hindi pa ganun ka-shop, di ba? Si Lucian tsaka si Nami. But of course, you cannot expect that they will dive deeper or nearer sa target dito ng Wargads sa Liga Pilipina. So yun, go signal. Nakakatuwa sa game na to. Parang inaantabayan na natin ano talaga yung gagawin ng mga junglers. Parang battle of attrition on different parts of the map.
Yeah, it's really these two junglers that will dictate the pace of the game. Although I have to hand it to Wargads sa Liga Pilipinas talaga for that really good gank from there. There's a pink ward there just in case mas patani. Kunwari may advanced ward dun sa Tri-Brush. But then, well played na gank dun.
It's interesting to study this gank. So that's it. There's not enough distance. Even though the elastic slingshot quite up here.
Yeah, most likely you'd wanna wait or wanna wait for Gertrude to be more aggressive before you actually bait out. Before you actually gank. Kasi it's quite tricky for Gertrude kasi gaya na sinabi mo, a Poppy is quite tanky. All he's gonna do is just walk away. If ever he gets into trouble naman, there's also the, just flashing right out. But look at that interesting 83% kill participation on Sovi.
Quite interested. Na-stop kaya ng W ni Poppy? Yung twisted advance ni Maokai.
That's interesting. Although, the thing with a twisted advance is that nawawala si Maokai. So there's a slight invulnerability ng Maokai. So I'm not quite sure if it's just gonna connect with the W of a Poppy compared to like a distortion of a LeBlanc kasi she doesn't disappear sa map unlike like the blink of an Ezreal. Yeah, so so most likely it's not gonna proc, although
it's not gonna stop
the twisted advance. So meanwhile, really, Duel making the moves. He has eyes again on the Dragon Control. Dragon Control actually is for Wargads sa Liga Pilipinas. They want to keep an eye on this because obviously Infused is the type to actually want these objectives or probably do sneaky objectives.
Yes, and La Liga now knows na wala si Nidalee doon. It's quite all in and safe para makapasok dito sa bottom lane na to. But I think it's a play for bait on this one. Yun yung setup sana. Duel will close the gap once again. Concussive blows gets completed this time on a kill. But of course, Wargads going all in. They know the position of Hechizo. Hechizo managed to secure the red buff though, even with Burn and Haze getting to that red side jungle.
It really depends on both of these teams' playstyle, on what they want to sacrifice more. Do they want to sacrifice Duel's clear? But then again, it's more of a win for Wargads because not only did they get a kill, they got the red buff of Nidalee as well. So that's a total loss for Hechizo, for Infused Esports. Most definitely, they have lane presence. Plus, hindi naman sila nawala ng buff.
Plus, Lucian and Nami, bottom duo is actually back on early game presence, ha?
Yeah.
And nawala na.
Because of Duel's presence. Talaga, because of Duel's pressure.
Kaya nga, and number 2, gank once again, hindi pinigilan. Wow, I was considering it's kind of predictable na gagawin talaga ng Wargads.
Yeah.
Why don't we go for round 2 sa bottom lane?
Because especially that the summoner spells are lacking for both of these people in the bot lane.
It's quite expected na pupunta ang Wargads doon sa red buff ni Nidalee. So, it's kind of weird na nag-base si
they wanted to. Kasi napapansin na ng esports that they're obviously concentrating on, on the bottom lane of Wargads sa Liga Pilipinas. It might be the cause, and Ezreal, they want the Ezreal to spike faster, to reach their spikes faster, because I think this Lucian is just gonna aim for that Yomu's Ghost Blade plus the Black Cleaver popular build right now for the Lucian. But then, Mana Mune already completed, so this guy can start stacking up as soon as possible.
Yes, ito pa, yung beauty nung gank ni Duel kanina. It's kind of awkward talaga. Kung ikaw ang Zac, elastic slingshot, magandang kit siya for closing the gap. Like, it puts you instantly in the lane sa mga side brushes.
Yeah.
Pero level of play, parang it's very unlikely you'll land the CC. Pero napapansin ko, piniping niya si Sophie. Yun pala yung combong habol ng Wargads La Liga. You don't need, parang sabi ni Duel, hindi ko kailangan tamaan yan ng elastic slingshot. Lumapit ka lang sa akin, Promise here, paka-promise here na reposition si Sophie, land the Winter's Bite.
Yes.
And the thing about Ezreal, katulad ni Lucian, he can quite proc the concussive blows.
Oo.
Napakabilis because of the attack resets on that Rift.
Rift.
Essence Shift.
Essence Shift plus the Q.
Yes,
The mystic shots of the Ezreal. So yeah, the reset animation for Ezreal is just gonna work wonders for the procking of the stun. And also, I think Akil has the capability to counter this as long as they anticipate this combo. I mean, it happened once. It happened once already. They should be aware of this by now. And that means you should save the bubble and make it a defensive skill and not something offensive where you want to harass your... Because once you lose that spell and you don't have vision there on the riverside, it's just a very, very risky thing to do.
Yeah, go for Bill. And this is War Gods. You know, ever since throughout the PGS, their performance banks on they have good
early. This is the thing. I think we have discussed this earlier sa ating meeting where Infused was the team. In terms of, you know, putting identity to the teams, it's like Infused really likes these 5v5 team fights and fighting around objectives.
Yeah,
but using zone control.
And go all in after that Keeper's verdict. One sidestep, actually not even needed to...
Bam.
Wow, not even needed to, you know, dodge that lance mula kay Billy. But of course, the jump is still there and Hechizo managed to secure 1 kill again. It's 2-3, ladies and gentlemen. And Hechizo has a massive lead now against Duel.
He concentrated more on finishing his item, his jungle item first, so have a bigger damage and bigger burst and presence pagdating niya sa lane kung magagank naman siya. And going back to what we have discussed earlier, I mean, the Infuse likes these 5v5 team fights, right? And War Gods Liga Pilipinas has a strong early game. Coming in from Duel, he's no questions asked talaga. He's just really doing it for all the lanes for War Gods Liga Pilipinas, especially for this bot lane. The problem is,
mukhang hindi na-anticipate ng War Gods na malapit na si Nidalee doon. One ult gets used there by Haido. Pero I think, yan na. Also, ito na naman, War Gods, really good when it comes to skirmishes. They like skirmishes.
They like skirmishes.
Bottom lane skirmishes.
Most definitely. And it's working really well for them. It's just that, napansin natin sa War Gods Liga Pilipinas, is just they don't know what to do with their lead after the pagdating ng mid-game, pagdating ng late. It's like they're relying so much on Snowball for them to actually snowballing to actually win the team fights leading to objectives, but not really like a whole big picture of macro play compared to like Cerberus Esports or Imperium Pro Team na ganun yung play style. It's still quite parang just 2 steps but not necessarily 5 steps ahead. It's more like 2 steps ahead or 1 step ahead lang yung nakikita natin from War Gods. So let's see though what kind of improvements they have done since then. It's still, they have a lot to work on actually, but then at least their early game is there already.
And it's kind of maganda-ganda rin yung Dragon buff naman na nakalatag ngayon sa Summoner's Rift.
Yeah.
I think that is an Ocean Drake.
Yeah. If I have to put it somewhere, who would benefit it better?
Sa dalawang team na to.
I would put it on War Gods Liga Pilipinas.
Talaga?
Is that the Ocean Drake?
Ocean, yes.
That's the Ocean Drake.
Bakit War Gods La Liga? I was thinking Infuse.
Because they're more poke. I mean, they're more poke reliant, especially with Azir.
To Infuse.
Compared to Infuse.
Kasi may Azir nga, yes.
Poke, they're more of the siege actually compared to Infused Esports. And if you look at Infused Esports, I think they ruined the algorithm.
Hindi makalapit si Sophie doon, pero still Winter's Bite managed to connect. Oh my god, it's the Glacial Feature activated. Managed to proc some stacks on that concussive blows, but still that is a tower dive. Over the bottom lane, that is the bottom duo matching up with ZXC, ganking up and securing the kill against Hai. Wow.
Okay, I kind of want to question why would you invest 3 people here in the top lane and just leave the Ezreal alone. Ezreal is one of those champions that you cannot leave for a long time. You can leave Ezreal because he has safety from the Essence Shift, but not for a long time because he doesn't have a good wave clear. And you lose Dragon Control after that.
You cannot leave Ezreal.
Yeah, most definitely.
With an Ahri, not in check.
Yeah, with an Ahri. So there you have it. Abyssal Scepter already completed kanina pa, and that was the perfect place. I mean, perfect time for, you know, for Braum to leave Ezreal's lane and put Hai in a very, very bad spot. And because of that, aside from leaving Hai, they left the dragon. And that could have been on their side. It would have benefited them more. It's just that Infused were the ones that denied that, actually. But oops, blue steal. It's just a trade of blue buffs, actually, if you think about it.
Medyo maganda rin pala ang third stack ng, ng Ocean Break.
Uh-huh.
Every 6 seconds, yung 10% na health and mana regeneration.
Yeah, it's really good.
Nice,
And the thing is, I think I've repeated this back at the earlier or in some stream na parang it's the effect is only cancelled if you get hit by a champion in a tower. So it doesn't really affect you in the jungle. So it will also help Sana. It's gonna help Hechizo right now in terms of jungle clear. So he can stay in the jungle much longer, definitely. And yeah, it's the arcane shift. Yeah, not essence shift. That's
Essence is the E yata.
yeah, essence. Yeah, yeah. You know what? They sound alike. So yeah. No. The Essence Flux. Yeah.
And
Arcane Shift. So I think we're combining skill names now.
Essence
So
Flux.
if we're gonna make an Essence Shift, it's a blink with
Blink.
attack speed.
Yes, attack speed buff.
Yeah. So never mind. Moving on. Guess it's like,
Actually, parang quick draw ni Greaves.
Oo nga no. Tama.
Dash plus attack
Dash
speed.
tsaka attack speed. There you have it. But then, again, yun nga, it's gonna really buff Hechizo in terms of, staying in the jungle longer.
Oh my god, Spirit Rush activated on this one, though not enough to reach down. He's forced a flash out against Haze.
Yeah, CS lead still most definitely on Azir's side. Naki's is already completed para sa kanya. He's gonna really hurt. That's a nice spike actually, but there are no objectives to take at this point or anywhere to go to make a pick or parang bait a skirmish somewhere else.
Yeah, and especially that the next dragon is
Mamaya
medyo
pa.
hindi nila priority. Ang
Hindi
next
nila
dragon
priority.
na darating is the Wind. Ay,
Yes.
Cloud Drake.
It's the
Stratus
Cloud
Walk,
Drake.
yes.
Oh, it's the Stratus Walk.
Yes.
So, if that's gonna be the Cloud, if I were to put it, I have to put it on Infused because the roaming from Hechizo with the movement speed around the brushes plus ZXC's assassination potential in terms of, if you look at it, the laning phase is quite slow. It's super slow right now. All the towers except for that bottom lane it is still quite there. So ZXC has more leg room to actually make the roams, to make a pick or help or assist Hechizo sa kanyang mga ganks dito with the Stratos. If ever, the towers are still intact when they achieve the Cloud Drake. But right now, they can still achieve that naman. It's just gonna be extra effective once they have gotten that buff for themselves.
Now, 4 members here of Warriors La Liga are converging to the mid lane. To take note na available pa rin naman yung may Glimpse of the Void buff si Referral.
Yeah.
On that one, I'm not sure though. Like, the Nami ult is still there.
Yeah.
They go for a tower dive on this one. Spirit Rush gets forced out of ZXC though.
Yeah, that's still okay. Better than a flash being burned, I suppose. But that means less battle combat stats.
Yes, I'm expecting talaga na si Poppy ang darating dito to initiate the fight. That is a 4-man tidal wave. And still, Wargans cannot close the gap in. There's a tower guarding in map. Duel gets Poppy's passive activated. T-Van! Emperor's Divide. Ladies and gentlemen, Gertrude is now gone. 2 for 2 on this team fight, but still continues. Burn has still helped to burn on this one, but JRM leading the front line, flashes in, a bubble on the side, and High managed to go for the poke. It's kind of an awkward team fight on this one. Tanks cannot close the gap in, but there's the sustain coming in from the side, and a burst from Hechizo, who is now on a rampage. 2016 all in on 2 burn, 3 members on this one. Relentless pursuit. It's JRM taking the execute. Ladies and gentlemen, Infuse Esports takes the lead. That is a 4 for 2 exchange.
Beautiful collapse and target prioritization coming in from Infused Esports. As you can see, this thing that started the fight is Gertrude. I have said from the meeting earlier that they have to fear Gertrude's flanks here. And great tidal wave actually hits 4 people there. Haze though, Haze is the man earlier from his Emperor's Divide, which we'll see for a while. Gertrude in a really bad spot. He actually gets ignited, but there's a triple man knockoff just to put them on the side. But thank God they had flashes there, but still, they died. But then again, they focused on the targets the tanky targets.
If you would
And the
go
damage
for-
dealers are still alive.
Yeah, and if you would go for that kind of engage, a 3-mana Emperor's Divide, kailangan mas early yung setup.
Yeah.
Yeah, parang ang tagal
Sayang!
na nawala na si Duelton. Pero overall, the decision to take the team fight, I wouldn't recommend for the side of War Gods.
Yeah.
Kasi yun nga, expected yun, you're going to siege, you're trying to push this turret. The thing is, ang dali lang talaga ni Gertrude na maka-flank. Plus, yung lane na yun, mid lane is an easy target for a Tidal Wave, a good skilling Tidal Wave. The Tidal Wave hit 4 members of War Gods La Liga on that one.
And the thing is, if you want fights, I'm pretty sure Hayes would have a great time at choke points, like maybe in the jungle, maybe choke points like in the dragon area, dragon pit.
Yes.
And the weird part is they fought when the dragon was about to respawn, and I think they could have saved parang save themselves muna on to the next fight. Although nandiyan yung spike ni Ezreal.
Yes.
I mean, there's the spike that we've been waiting for. He's gonna be really painful. Meanwhile, hindi pa natatapos yung Black Cleaver ni JRM. So it's only a Yomu's Ghostblade. It's also used defensively naman, just in case things get a bit too sticky. For example, duel or burn, he has the Yomus to actually use it defensively as well. So at least that's there. But then again, Infused would really want to control this dragon because let's see though, does Gertrude have teleport? Yes, he does. There's a teleport, there's another flank, but it's gonna be too late.
He also has the poke. It's gonna be Duel securing that one. Teleports gets completed on this one. There's of course a heroic charge onto Hayes. He gets bursted half health, but of course Emperor's Divide managed to peel off members here, or divide members of Infused Esports. UFZ Gertrude getting executed, and one turret falling into the hands of the minion that is in favor of Infused Esports.
That's what I'm talking about. Hayes is gonna have a great time at choke points, like in the Dragon Pit. That is the perfect spot, and that's a dead body of a poppy. Look how cute it is.
Oh my God.
Anyway, but yeah, Hayes would definitely want to fight more on these choke points and not in an open area. Although it is easy, but then again, mas may control. Gaya ng sinabi mo, sila Akil with the tidal wave.
Yes.
And it's easier. But then, to move around. But if it's somewhere really, really masikip na masikip, like that choke point over there in the jungle side, that's something that you really can't penetrate unless you have some sort of like a blink. Because dashes just push you, pushes you off.
A fight in a choke point is isolate Gertrude if ever he goes for the flank. Like War Gods La Liga has all the time to shred through the health of the tankiest member of Infused.
Exactly. Look at that. Stacks already completed for high, but here's another fight.
Oh, one flank coming in from JXC. That is a one. Tidal Wave gets cancelled by Unbreakable on this. Whoa! Front of the calling gets achieved there by LLP High. Coming in below 100 health over that one. Now 4 members from La Liga make that 2 members only as. Also, I think that he might stop on this one, but still manage to stop the engage coming in from Infused Esports.
Yeah, the burst coming from Infused Esports is just something that you should not trifle with, because as you can see, medyo confident yung La Liga Pilipinas to take on the fight against them. It's just that they did not really expect the burst. I mean, that's an Ari and that's a Lucian. One of the fastest combination of DPS in a short amount of time into one target. That's something that you have to fear. And so, right now, I think they're gonna respect that. It's just they have to choose the fights. And I think
Korean build Lucian.
Korean build. I think the Black Cleaver is about to be completed in a while, probably after this tower. Once they take it down, there's no one there to actually contest this one. And I'm afraid La Liga Pilipinas does not have anything to trade it with at this point. But then, if you think about it, let's go back. Let's back forward. Wala ganon. Backwards muna tayo dun sa fight sa Dragon Pit on the Ocean Dragon. It was a very late teleport, I have to say. I mean, for some reason, you normally want to cancel that teleport because there's nothing to contest anymore. But then they lost a life. They gave away an unnecessary kill.
Akala ko kinansel talaga yung teleport. Pero tinuloy. That's the awkward part there.
Yeah. And that's why parang unnecessary death. But ta-da-da-da, that is another Earth Elemental Dragon, I'm pretty sure Warga sa Liga Pilipinas would want to have this for themselves because they're more of the siege comp compared to Infused. I mean, that's an Azir. That's high with the Essence Flux, with the attack speed buff. That's gonna work well. And meanwhile, Infuse going really sneaky right now because they expect Azir to get his red buff at this point. So let's see if they're gonna make a pick. What's up? Tadadadan. 99. Mga ganun. Anyway.
Kailangan 99 ka.
Meron kang 100 eh.
So, anyway, we are down to 25 minutes into the game. We are officially in the mid-game phase. Right now, the next dragon is...
It's an Earth Elemental.
Oh,
So,
Tier 1 dragon. Wow.
yeah. One of the best dragons actually in the game. Actually, I
especially
put
lalo
Infernal
pa,
up.
lalo pa, nasa ano ka, nasa mid-game ka na.
Oo, nasa mid-game. So,
it's a matter of objectives, definitely, clearly. Not end or bottom of
for winning lanes. And most likely at this point of the game, the 26-minute mark, where people are grouping up now and just making the rounds, roaming and collapsing. Ay, may
nakakita ng gelatin dito. Si Hechiso. Hayes goes all in. Everybody's not on the same page for the side of Wargad. Skills gets connected onto the proper targets. Pero iba-iba ang lokasyon. Iba-iba ang kinalalagyan. JRM now on a killing spree. Flank coming in from ZXC. Now 4 members of Wargad Liga against the crew. You are seeing high on a low end. Now executed. Now all in onto burning to yourself. Double kill na si Gertrude dito. And in the blink of an eye, you are seeing 4 members from make that 5 members.
Whoa.
An ace against Wargans La Liga Pilipina with the Baron as the cherry on top.
Wow, that was super clean. I mean, Wargans sa Liga Pilipinas thought that they were making a sandwich. Turns out they were the sandwich. So,
ang weird nang engage after hindi nag-connect
Yeah.
yung point blank elastic slingshot ni Zack dito. Nag-commit si Hayes dito. You have to take note that the Azir has no ult.
yeah, has no ult, and he put the ult everything on Hechizo. They did not make the execution. They did not make it clean. And ZXC with great flanking dito. And I think natapon. Sino yung natapon from the keeper's verdict para mag-buy some time? So it was a momentarily 4v5. And the collapse from Infused Esports was just beautiful here on the choke point. And obviously,
divide and conquer na paghiwa-hiwala yung membro dito ng Wargans Liga. Parang, hala si Hechizo. Si Hechizo,
ito na lang.
Hindi, mag-ano ako.
Ay, si Sexy dumating. Ito na lang.
Mag-Emperor's Divide ako.
Yeah. So that's what I mean,
Nagkagulo-gulo.
the thing is, you should not make these kinds of kills without having an objective in mind. You could have just stuck with waiting for the dragon and try to poke them out. Although, this is the beauty then of Infused Esports comp. La Liga Wargans Pilipinas, they have zone control, they have the poke, but the thing is, Infused has 2 sources of sustain. So that's 10% additional damage.
Wow.
That's true damage to epic monsters and towers. So that's denying the power of Wargans sa Liga Pilipinas. It could have benefited them talaga.
50% if you have the mark of the Elder Dragon. Pag
Mamaya pa yun, yung Elder Dragon natin eh. But it's another Earth Elemental. So, party time talaga itong Infused Esports if they do get it for themselves. Right now, they have the Baron buff. They can actually siege. They have more power, fighting power if you think about it at this point. They have a 5k gold lead actually. Black Cleaver already completed. Zonias for Ari, so if ever meron siyang plans to actually tower dive.
Yeah.
But then they're maximizing this Baron buff. They're actually doing a 1-1-3 so that wala masyadong minion wave control yung Wargans sa Liga
At the
Pilipinas.
very
And the only person that has wave clear right now is Hayes. And that's gonna be a problem if Infused keeps this pressure on all 3 lanes. Because the only lane that you can clear is where Azir is.
Yeah. Yun, so right now it's Ari just swapping through the mid lane and the bottom lane. So anytime this bottom lane could actually explode. It's just a 1-for-1 matchup naman pagdating doon sa top lane natin. Though mukhang hindi na i-close ito ng Infused Esports. There's even a fallback signal coming in from the side of Infused.
Whoops. So Zexy, yeah, extra tanky right now, of course. But then Infuse dictating the pace of the game, taking away all the resources of Warriors sa Liga Pilipinas. Medyo nasa-suffocate na sa space itong
Bottom lane.
bottom lane, actually all the lanes if you think about it.
And so, right now, looking into the itemizations, you could see also that Nidalee, no? Roa.
Roa,
Ah.
very, very tanky.
Yes.
They're aiming for sustained team fight. So after going in, you can actually heal yourself up, reposition
Yeah.
yourself, throw a spear, then go jump back in. That's the good thing about Infused Esports' comp. If you think about it, they're yun nga, sustained team fights. Meanwhile, Warriors Liga Pilipinas, they have a mode of disengage. Engage actually, disengage with the Azir, but let's see.
So let's see though. There's enough firepower coming from Hayes to shred through the health of Gertrude. Right now, Keeper's Verdict gets activated. But of course, a fallback signal, you don't want to linger on an unwarded territory.
Yes. Yeah, most likely. Akil.
Just going all in. Blade of the Rookie gets used there by Akil. And yes, Mermaid getting catch.
Yeah, I don't think that was intentional. Although
Yeah.
at this point of the game naman, Fuse has the amount of making these little mistakes.
Yes.
It's quite alright for them. They
Yes.
have the space. They have the leeway.
Even if Akil gets picked on that one, it doesn't mean that Wargads is back in the game.
Yeah, it's like gold on your pocket lang, but then it's not necessarily it connects to an
Parang
objective.
binigyan ka ng pera ng magulang mo, pero hindi pa rin enough pang
Hindi pa rin. Parang pambili lang ng siguro candy or soft drinks. Ganun lang.
Niyaya ka ng mga kaibigan mo, tapos inabutan ka, tapos parang kulang to.
Kulang to. Dito na lang ako sa
Dito na lang ako sa bahay.
sari-sari store or something. But yeah, good record for Hechizo. Again, amazing
5-0-6
display of performance right now for Hechizo.
That's definitely playing around 90% kill participation for this game.
And I guess I have to point out Akil. I guess yung bubble accuracy niya has been quite not there. Wasn't on point.
Yeah, I think
most of the time. Yeah. I haven't seen it apparent talaga.
Yes, and it's like pinanami lang si Akil for the use of the tidal wave.
For the tidal wave and for the sustain. Kasi
it complements lang yung complements lang ng position dito ng Infuse.
Yeah, movement speed to yourself and then knock up. It's just really beautiful.
Definitely Akil has a better performance than Soraka.
Yeah.
Pero of course, the tidal wave.
They might lack the CC.
Okay, so Keeper's Verdict.
Wow!
Big one Empress here by Wargads. Jump up front of the column, gets shred through the health upside on that one. We are seeing one members gets popped. Okay, passive prop gets activated on Mulakay. Duel after that engage. Azir Tower gets destroyed on this one, and Infuse would walk back, maybe try to engage. They can take a team fight.
Yeah, you're just gonna be out-sustained by Infused in terms of team fighting. Kasi ubus na skills mo, di pa rin patay yung kalaban mo, and then it gets healed. So you're just gonna wait till the cooldowns are there. Consistent DPS, of course, you have to hand it to an Azir, because there's the soldiers. Consistent DPS. But in terms of, auto-attack, Ezreal, that's not the best.
Oh wow, that's one flash. Not transitioning, coming in from Gertrude. Now a team fight breaks out over this one. Spirit Rush activated. Duel gets pop on this one. This time without any passive. Now they are all in onto Hayes, who is isolated. Double kill now for Hechizo. Once again, may galing na naman. Dalawang team fight na magkasunod na may galing na. Sumugod on this one naman. We are on the mid lane. Gets destroyed here by Infuse Esports. Very probably they could take this mid lane inhibitor tower.
You can see the communication of Infused Esports in their team fights.
They love team fights.
They love team fights, and you can see how they switch targets immediately.
Yes.
Like they're on the same page, exhausted si Hayes, and then they concentrated all their damage onto him. Duel actually enters the fight then, but doesn't exactly get the knockup. The bubble connected, and so Duel's very, very low right now. Zexy Spirit rushes in, and then there's a twisted advance. But then Hayes though goes in, just compromising his position. The exhaust was saved for him. This is parang made especially for you.
Hayes did not use the Emperor's Divide. He was thinking of setting up an Emperor's Divide to displace members there by using his force. But the thing is, hindi niya nalang ginamit yung Emperor's Divide defensively.
Yeah.
Ba't di niya ginamit defensively?
That's weird.
While Infuse Esports is on the advantage, especially that they are taking a team fight on this part of the map.
Yeah.
Like, if you put an Emperor's Divide on this one, yun na. Safe na yung teammates mo sana.
I don't know what the plan. Siguro meron silang intended. Meron siyang ibang plano. It's just that he ran out of time. Did not expect the exhaust to come in. But then you have to be prepared. Infuse is really prepared for this Azir pick for Hayes. But meanwhile, Dragon Control gotta hand it to Infuse Esports.
And that is also the second Baron for Infuse Esports. They managed to ward off members dito.
Damn, son.
And this is the second Mountain Drake now in the hands of Infuse Esports. 35 minutes into the game. Parang enrollment lang. They're just waiting up to close this game if they play this methodically and carefully.
Yeah, the thing with Wargods sa Liga Pilipinas is they don't have an identity yet. It's like they have the picks and up.
Okay, so Elastic Slingshot, Wargods still willing to take this team fight. That is a 3-man title with the Unbreakable. Calling managed to ward off the backline dito ng Wargods. La Liga Pilipina, Infuse Esports managed to close the gap, destroy the second bottom lane Siren. Heroic charge coming in from Gertrude. He gets shredded then by a significant amount of health from damage na magagaling mula kay Hype, pero still Infused with the siege. They actually have the oceanic drink buff to sustain this.
To sustain themselves na parang, okay, we're gonna hit a bunch of minions first and then sakto, nag-proc na yung 6 seconds.
Yeah.
Na no damage from turrets or champions. But going back to Wargods La Liga Pilipinas, they don't have the identity yet. It's like they seem so lost and it's like they're playing around the meta but it's not them. So parang, they're the type, diba, na they mix meta and then magsisingit sila ng isang champion or unmeta pick or unmeta but quite viable but not really popular in competitive play. So that's their identity. But in terms of, forming what they really are in the PGS is not yet there.
Yeah.
We've seen them perform at Mineski Pro Gaming League, pati dito sa Pro Gaming Series, but you can tell that they're still struggling with their identity.
Yes.
Compared to Infused, they have improved a lot from
probably not just the identity, they are really struggling.
They're really struggling.
Like parang yung communication.
Are they on the same page? Oo nga. So, early game, kumbaga, ang identity nila ngayon is that they can mix meta with one really surprise pick at the end.
They have talented players.
They have talented. They are dubbed as the solo queue lords right now. Solo queue lords being gathered into one team. So it's them trying to prove na our challenger status, our solo queue status can be transitioned in competitive play. Parang yun yung gusto nilang, yun yung story nila na pwede nilang improve dito sa PGS. Although it's their first time, definitely Infuse has been there for 3 splits.
Alright, so probably might be the last team fight. Elastic Slingshot into the back line. In the front line, you are seeing Hechizo get shredded through. Third proc ng concussive blows, hindi nagsagsid. On top of that flank na magagaling kay ZXC, Wargods seems managed to ward off members dito ng Infuse Esports, but it's well gone. Hechizo is now legendary. Only 4 members are now standing. Once again, you have to take note for this kind of engage and teamfight and siege. Merong Cloud Drake dito ang Infuse Esports. They can carry out and continue this one.
Infused Esports definitely has improved a lot from the first time they entered into the scene. I mean, alam ko yung identity nila was the only identity that they had back then was JRM. Was JRM in the bot lane kasi siya lang yung nagsashine before. But right now, they're moving as a team and I think this is the first split na meron silang coach.
Nakakapag yung identity nila kasi hindi talaga nila drain up yung identity nila na we team fight.
Yeah, well, before they weren't really na kami team fight. They're not. They weren't anything before. They were like, JRM is really strong. Dun yung Infuse before. Na, okay, JRM is really strong, but what do the other players bring into the table? Right now, nakikita mo, everybody does not outshine one another. Maybe Hechizo right now really performing, really doing it. But then, okay, hold that thought.
Alright, so there's another team fight on this one. I think Infuse Esports will go for the treat on the top lane after Wargads La Liga pulls out an aggressive counter.
Well, the thing is with Infused, they're a group of friends.
Okay.
That's what they are. And parang sabi ko nga, parang unicorns of love-ish. But right now, meron na silang structure. They have a coach.
Alright, that's a team-man. Because pwede kami mula kay turn 2, you are seeing the members or the nakakap kami mula kay Duel still managed to beat the opponent members.
Wow!
Ng Infuse Esports. But the damage, the jump coming in from the bounce dito ni Henchizo is just too much. They're now all in onto Soyubi. Make that the 4 members of Wargads La Liga got to guard their base. I think this is the game, ladies and gentlemen, as the first Nexus turret is now gone. Make that the second Nexus turret and the Nexus itself, plus the first death of Hechizo falling to the hands of High up to no avail. Ladies and gentlemen, for Game 1, Infuse Esports.
Yeah,
Nice.
amazing performance by Infused Esports. They did not give way to Wargads sa Liga Pilipinas
Yeah,
despite
definitely.
the early game dominance ng Zac in the bot lane. They just allow that, and then they made it. They had objective control. They took advantage. This is where Wargads sa Liga Pilipinas made a mistake. The top lane where they put Braum at the top, the 3-man gank onto Gertrude, and then losing the half of the map. Losing control over half of the map. High had to be sacrificed. Dragon was taken.
Started
and then,
during dun sa nag-initiate sa mid lane.
Yeah, actually.
Yun yung first team fight na natalo sila. And crucially, yung mistake doon sa blue side jungle, nung nag-face check pa doon, hindi naman face check talaga. Wrong turn ni Hechizo. Pero pag elastic slingshot ka agad doon ni Duel, hindi tumama. And Hayes committed.
Hayes committed.
That team fight resulted into, I think, if not an ace, 4 members gun. Pero sure ako, may Baron na nakuha doon. Yung Infuse Esports.
It was really good performance ng Infuse Esports. But, I think there is a chance for an upset naman at this point. I mean, kahit second to the last yung Wargads sa Liga Pilipinas, they still do have a chance to make this a 1-1.
Yeah,
kasi may
actually,
tendency yung Infuse na maging inconsistent.
Oh,
And they can
yeah.
take advantage of that.
Pero on paper, on this one, parang okay talaga, may chance yung Wargads La Liga. But the thing here is, I'm considering talaga yung synergy. Yung communication. Mararamdaman mo yun sa Wargads that when it comes to team fights, they are not on the same page. And they are committing to the wrong team fights pa.
Parang they're not collapsing properly onto one target so that they can immediately, or try to reposition themselves properly to have a good position to deal damage. It's more like they're gonna sacrifice themselves first, and sila yung power threats ng they're really risking themselves. And I don't think they should compromise their position. But yeah, there's still game 2.
Okay, so meron pa tayong game 2 dito para sa ating unang series dito sa Pro Gaming Series 2016 Summer Split. Kami po yung naging shoutcaster. Ako po si Shinbu with a 1-4-9.
At ako naman po si Riku.
Powered by our official energy drink, Bacchus! Drive your energy. Magbabalik po kami for game 2.
Alright.
The ADC here ng Infuse. Those take up once again, conclusive blows gets completed this time on a kill. But of course, Wargads going all in. They know the position of Hechi. Yeah.
But using zone control.
And go all in after that keeper's verdict. One side step actually not even needed. Wow, not even needed to,
with the algorithm up.
Di malapit si Zombie doon, pero still Winter's Bite managed to connect. Oh my god, it's the Glacial Feature activated. Managed to block some stacks on that possible, but still that is a tower that over the bottom lane. That is the bottom.
That's Battle Combat Stack.
Yes, I'm expecting talaga na si Poppy ang darating dito to initiate the fight. That is a 4-man tidal wave. And still Wargads gonna close the gap in. There's a tower guarding his map. Duel gets Poppy's passive activated. T-Man! Emperor's Divide. Ladies and gentlemen, Gertrude is now gone. 2-4-2 on this team fight, but still continues. Burna still helps.